internal security. So we already seen certain factual things in internal security. Also we discussed how to answer some of those. So so till left wing extremism we have completed. We'll take some 5 minutes for quick revision. We'll do quick revision and then start with a new topic. So with that, introduction, we decided that we should be having a conceptual clarity. So under that, we want to define every key term, and then we should just say why it is related to internal security and what are the data points that can be connected to this internal security. Then we have seen what are the security challenges, that is the terrorism and extremism, cyber security, communism and religious violence, and insurgency and left-wing extremism. Then we have seen external factors. We should be talking about cross-border terrorism and we should be talking about illegal migration and organized crimes. So government policies, under that institutional mechanization and policy framework and modernization of security forces. So under role of technology, we went for surveillance, artificial intelligence and machine learning, cyber security or cyber defense measures. Then we went for capacity building and training of a security forces. So under that, modernization of a police and parliamentary forces, border management, strengthening intelligence networks. Then we decided coordination, cooperation and integration are very important. In coordination, we have seen interagency coordination like state and center. Then we saw multi-agency centers. Then we have said there should be a reforms. After that, regional and global cooperation, we have SARC role. We should be understanding Indo-US, Indo-Russia cooperation and all. And also UN role in combating the terrorism, all these things. So under recommendation and way forward, we decided we should be having a policy reform, technological upgradation, capacity building, public awareness, etc. So also we thought like we should be ending up our whatever discussion with a solution oriented approach and with a visionary statement, right? With this we went for first topic as national security strategy in India. Even we should have a national security strategy to combat or to have a internal security. So we decided it is a basic principle of a country strategy and vision, which is aiming to safeguard country's interest, right? So that is a thing we have discussed in national strategy, security strategy. And why it is important, because these days it is we are going to face complex threats and technological advancements are there. Also there are gray zone warfare, that's why we need those. Then key quotes, we saw Ajit Dawal who said about civil society warfare also. Then Shivashankar Menon spoke about political hesitation in framing national security strategy. So if we don't have single framework, then what are the things that we are following to combat issues in security? Under that we studied like we have government initiative. One such is the defense policy. We are modernizing the efforts. For example, Agni 5 missiles, Rafale aircraft acquisition, etc. Cyber security measures. Under that we have CERT in that is Indian Computer Emergency Response Team, and also we have National Cyber Security Policy. Then we have diplomacy, strengthening ties through Quad and BRICS and other organizations also internationally. Then internal security, we are going to use agencies like NIA, NSG, that is National Security Guard and all. So and then we got to know about geopolitical challenges and internal security issues. Under that, geopolitical challenges, rising internal security issues, technological threats, global power realignments, these points we have seen. Under challenges for formulating, we saw that there is no collaboration and complex threat environment is there, resource allocation, because we are allocating only 2% of our GDP comparatively other countries, and there is a technological gap also. Then we saw the committees, Kargil Committee, Naresh Chandra Task Force Security, then Raksha Mantri's Operational Directive, which has to be revised. Under recommendations, we have seen developing a comprehensive NSS document is needed. Strengthening cyber security infrastructure is what we expect. Defense modernization is required. Reinforcing internal security mechanism and diplomatic engagements. So under that we also seen global best practices under US and Russia, China. So concluded with a holistic approach that we need and institutionalizing NSS, and also we want collaboration with private sectors. So the court spoke about coherent, coordinated and comprehensive national security strategy. So after that, we started with the definition of left-wing extremism. What is left-wing extremism? It is a Marxist-Lenin ideology for a socio-economic justice. It's an armed struggle against state. That is the definition. Then we have seen historical context. So from Naxalbari movement it started in West Bengal and then it spread to eastern and central India. So that is the evolution part. And causes we have seen socio-economic and cultural and political causes we have seen, because we are marginalizing the tribals. This is an important word, marginalization. So then we have a key regions, as I mentioned, central and eastern India. Then there is a geographical advantage is what we noticed in those areas. So then we have seen the trend analysis. Left wing extremism is in a declining trend. Shift in tactics, they are using cyber or digital platforms, and now emergence of new fronts, that is environmental and indigenous rights also. So under that, when we speak about environmental and indigenous rights, we also spoke about Forest Right Act 2006. This is for recognizing the forest dwelling communities rights, right? Yeah. After that, we have seen the objective of a Forest Conservation Act 2022. So it is for a sustainable forest management, here where it is conflicting with the indigenous people's right. Then we spoke about fifth schedule, which is some areas are excluded from fifth schedule, though they have a tribal people. So this is also causing kind of involvement into left wing extremism. Then what is the impact? Obviously, human cost will be there, economic disruption and social fragmentation. I told fragmentation is such an important word. Then we have a read about government responses. We have to take security measures and then develop and then surrender and rehabilitation. So then we have seen challenges. Interagency coordination is not there. Complex threat environment is there. Resource allocation. We can use a similar point also. So then we can see like educational gap and developmental issues. These things also should be mentioned. These are repeating from the NSS. So you can repeat education, cultural ties has to be improved, governance has to be improved, these points. Then we have key recommendation for strong NSS. Why I am mentioning this here is because national security strategy is to get the security from external also, even from the internal of internal issues of a state. One such issue is what? Left wing extremism. So we should have a proper recommendation for it based on left wing extremism also. So developing a comprehensive NSS document, strengthening cyber security infrastructure, defense modernization, reinforcing internal security mechanism and diplomatic engagement. This is also important. But exclusively when you talk about left wing extremism, we should talk about internal regional communication and collaboration is important, and proper governance and developmental projects like special priority should be given to them, reaching a last mile. Then in conclusion, we must say about holistic approach, institutionalizing NSS, collaboration with the private sector, and also some other points. In that Naxalism, so I have a one key terms for that. N is negotiating for a conflict resolution. A, administrative monitoring. X, extension of legal frameworks. A, augmenting security forces. L, learning and sensitizing initiatives. I, implementation monitoring. S, strengthening local police strategy. M, maximizing infrastructure security. So if you are done with it, still here it's a revision part. Here where it starts with a today's session. It is women in left wing extremism. So from here we'll go little more slower, because till there we were just revising. From now it's almost 9 minutes. After now we are starting with a new topic today, that is women in left wing extremism. So first we'll have a overview how these women got involved. See, to be honest, it is like women are dominant in left-wing extremism. It's approximately 60% of the total cadre in Maoist groups, highlighting their significant role in left-wing extremism movement. So women are dominant here. Active participation is there, okay? They serve not only as a combatants but also as supporters, engaging in logistical and intelligence activities. Women are acting like this, which reflects their socio-economic struggle. Why? Because of socio-economic struggle and aspirations and empowerment. If you leave them before, like, without empowering, they are also getting joined to left wing extremism. Okay, so then we have historical context. We should see from where it started. Women involvement in leftist movement in India date back to early 20th century. Over time, they have transitioned from passive supporter to key combatants, especially within the Naxalite movement. So initially they were supporters, now they are active participants. So the key figures, notable women leaders such as Kondapalli Sithamma have been pivotal in mobilizing support and organizing resistance against oppression. So she is one of the important Naxalite women, right? So yes. Then role of women in LWE, left-wing extremism. So why we should see this? Because we saw approximately 60% are women in LWE. So what role are they playing? So one is combatants. Women actively participate in armed factions, taking on tactical positions that are typically male dominated. So though it is male dominated, they are actively participating. So they are active participator. Supporter role also. Beyond combat, they assist in recruitment, logistical support and community mobilization. So they are also they are playing supporting role as well. Next, they have leadership positions, see, which is missing in real economic empowerment, which this is present here in LWE. That is leadership position. Women hold around 35 to 40% of membership in LWE groups, but have limited representation in central decision making bodies, 1 out of 20 central communities. Okay. So then we have more. What is the reason that they are participating? So one, we got more than 60% are women. They are playing leadership roles and also they are supporters, also they are playing active role, right? So why they are doing it? There are some points. You can write many points. Some of them are socio-economic factors such as, see, land rights, employment, social justice. For them it is injustice. Then lack of empowerment. Participation provides a platform for challenging traditional gender roles. But this LW is providing that opportunity, empowering women to take control of their life. That's why. Rebellion against patriarchy. So when too much of anything, that will become definitely a poison. So the same thing, rebellion against patriarchy. LWE movement attracts women seeking to confront gender-based violence. So forced marriages, abduction, domestic violence. So three, first thing is socio-economic. This will be major reason for LWE, right? So socio-economic factors. Then comes empowerment. Women always, not only women, everyone need to be empowered. So if you are leaving them behind, they have to choose another path. So empowerment is a key problem here. Then rebellion. So these are some of the points or motives for participation. Next we will see challenges faced by women in LWE. What are the challenges they are facing? To get into LWE, there is some problem here, so we'll correct it. So to get into LWE. So structural violence. Women experience the same violence they oppose, including police brutality and community violence. So when they are inside this also they are experiencing the structural violence. Then health issues. High rate of anemia and protein deficiency along with lack of access to menstrual hygiene. So when they enter to LWE, one is sexual violence from police brutality and community violence. Second is health issues. They don't be having menstrual hygiene products, etc. So then they have stigmatization. Women involved in LW face social ostracization and legal repercussion upon disengagement. So this is one stigmatization. Then we have limited support mechanism. Post-conflict reintegration is often challenging due to inadequate support. So lack of education and employment is also leading to this. Okay. Then we have impact of LWE on women. So how is this left-wing extremism impacting women? So it is empowerment versus oppression. So while some women find empowerment through LWE, many remain trapped in cycle of violence and exploitation. So here both will happen, empowerment and oppression. Marginalization also one of the things. Women, particularly those from SC/ST background, make up 40% of Maoist forces and represent 90% of martyrs, indicating their vulnerability in the movement. So they are vulnerable, particularly SC/ST or 40%. So economic displacement, with 75.8% of mineral production originating from ancestral lands, women face livelihood losses and increased economic marginalization. So even economic displacement will be there. Okay, so there are good also, bad also. We saw somewhere it is empowering and against patriarchy, it's giving a chance leadership participation, but it is also making them be under oppression, marginalized, economic displacement. So there are data also. So this is some of the drawbacks. So government response and rehabilitation. So rehabilitation programs we are taking up. Government initiative often neglect the specific need of women, however, leading to inadequate support. Yeah. So we have to reframe our reforms on policies. Gender sensitive policies we have to bring up so that LWE will be reduced. Then we have a case studies and examples. Success stories, instance of women successfully transitioning from extremism to mainstream society highlights potential pathway for rehabilitation. So there are success story also, and here is a question for you. Comment below. So what are such good or success story where rehabilitation has been occurred? And challenges in reintegration. Personal narratives reveals the barrier faced by women seeking to reintegrate. So this is also there. So conclusion, how we conclude is, we have to always recognize the role. Acknowledging the essential role of women in LWE is vital for formulating effective counter-insurgency strategies and rehabilitation programs. We have to consider them and sensitively we have to deal the issue. Tailored support mechanism. Developing targeted initiatives aimed at addressing the unique challenges faced by women should be taken care, right? So support should be also given so that we are rehabilitating them. So this is all about women in left-wing extremism. Tomorrow we'll be starting with Northeast insurgency and we'll cover it up holistically.